Hey everyone, welcome to Trades Talk. It's me, your host, Pop. And on this stream, in case you don't know, I look at things from an industrial point of view. We have a look into the skilled trades, how to get into them, what to expect, what you need to be able to succeed. And we'll look at some pictures and videos, things of projects I've been involved in. Before I get to all that, though, I'd like to welcome Alex Moore. You're grabbing a seat, eh? Right on. Right on. Thanks for coming along for the ride, Alex. By the way, how's that Ray Earth going? That's a great show. Almost at the end. So what I usually do is I'll hit up some of the news here of what's going out in the industry. You can sort of tell how the economy's doing by reading the industrial news and seeing what facilities are being built, whether they're being shut down, who's buying who, and just all that sort of good economic stuff. And I usually have a look at that from Plant Magazine. And a couple of articles here. First one is this one here. And here he is, sliding in after work, DJ Ronnie G. What's up, DJ? Should you start Ray Earth? You know what? If you like Isekai, which is in another world, 3 high school girls get summoned to another world to save it. And it's just like a JRPG. So you know what? I would do that. I recommend Ray Earth. It's got a killer opening. I think Alex can attest to that as well. But that guitar in the opening, man, that's awesome. All right, so yes, DJ, Plant Magazine. Wrong type of plant. This one says Stelco Holdings to be acquired by Cleveland-Cliffs in a $3.4 billion deal. So the steelmaker's headquarters will remain in Hamilton and keep Canadians on staff as part of the deal. That's crazy. You've only ever heard the song. Okay, DJ. Still, that song just slaps. And everyone, welcome Jake D. What's up, Jake D? Do you know anyone in skilled trades associated with the squalid masses? That's our Jake D for you. He does not mix with the squalid masses. 7 years after it climbed out of creditor protection and embarked on a major turnaround, Stelco Holdings said it will be acquired by Cleveland-Cliffs in a $3.4 billion deal. In a release Monday, the storied Hamilton, Ontario-based steelmaker said it agreed to sell all issued and outstanding common shares for $70 per share to Ohio-based Cleveland-Cliffs, one of North America's largest steel manufacturers. I know that Cliffs would continue to build upon the excellent work and life environment we have created for all our employees and continue to be a reliable supplier to our valued customers while maintaining Stelco's stature and reputation in Canada and maintaining our Canadian national interests, said Stelco Chief Executive Alan Ketzenbaum. This guy probably doesn't care. He's going to get bought out, and he's off going to a different company, whatever he's doing. So he doesn't care. He's just fancy talk. As part of the agreement, Stelco's headquarters will stay in Hamilton, which is in Ontario, and the company will maintain significant employment levels in Canada and include Canadians in its management team. So that means not everyone will get turfed. Cleveland-Cliffs CEO Lourenco Goncalves said Kestenbaum has managed to turn an underperforming asset under previous ownership into a very cost-efficient and profit-oriented company. The deal is expected to close in the fourth quarter of 2024. This will not be the first time Stelco has come under foreign ownership. U.S. Steel acquired the 114-year-old company in 2007, right before the global financial crisis set off a recession. In 2014, America's second-largest steelmaker put its Canadian operations into creditor protection. Kestenbaum took the reins in 2017, aside from one-year departure around 2019, upgraded Stelco's blast furnaces and via acquisition steered the company toward more steel output for automakers. United Steelworkers International President David McCall supported the sale to Cleveland-Cliffs, calling it great for the resilience of manufacturing and union jobs in North America. Cleveland-Cliffs has a proven track record of making sure the union always has a seat at the table, and this deal was no different, the union had said in a release. About 83% of Stelco's 2,400 workers were unionized as of December. Mergers and acquisitions in the industry have made headlines over the past year as producers look to consolidate in response to cheap imports from China. In August, Cleveland-Cliffs made a hostile $7.25 billion offer for U.S. Steel, composed of cash and stock, but U.S. Steel rejected the bid and opted instead for a $14.9 billion buyout by Japan's Nippon Steel, one of the largest steel makers in the world by production volume. That agreement is pending review by the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States, an interagency committee. Golden parachutes can always fail? Yeah, they can, Jake D. You betcha. Well, that's that for Stelco being acquired by those guys. Ni hao. That's China, Jake D. China. There you go, buddy. You got her. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. Canada's aerospace industry shows strong recovery and growth. Aerospace. A report released by the AIAC and ISED indicates aerospace continues to be a key driver in Canada's economic rebound, with manufacturing revenues approaching pre-pandemic levels. On July 11th, the Aerospace Industries Association, in partnership with Innovation, Science and Economic Development, released the State of Canada's Aerospace Industry Report. Based on data from 2023, the report indicates Canada's aerospace industry continues to grow in key economic metrics compared to previous years, although not yet fully returned to pre-pandemic levels. The industry has made substantial strides, contributing nearly $29 billion to Canada's GDP and providing approximately 218,000 jobs nationwide. Well, that's not bad. The report highlights Canada's strong position in research and development compared to other manufacturing sectors. R&D spending has returned to pre-pandemic levels, with Canada leading significantly with an intensity 3.6 times higher than the manufacturing average. Canada also maintains its top 5 global ranking in key aerospace areas like civil flight simulators, civil engines, and civil aircraft sectors. Canada's aerospace industry exports are valued at $19 billion, as the sector remains a major player in the global aerospace supply chain. Oh, the Canadian test pilot even flew the SR-71. That's awesome. That's what I like to hear. I would like to fly that thing too, or at least ride in it. That'd be awesome. Today's data confirms that Canada's aerospace industry not only has rebounded, but is also forging ahead with R&D expenditures restored to pre-pandemic levels. Our commitment is clear. The Government of Canada stands shoulder to shoulder with the industry, fostering its leadership, growth, and competitiveness as we transition towards decarbonization. God, I hate that word. Together, we are ensuring Canada's aerospace industry continues to thrive, driving economic growth and creating high-quality jobs for Canadians, said the Honourable François-Philippe Champagne, Minister of Innovation, Science and Industry. As revenues, jobs, and GDP continue to recover and grow, Canada must not take anything for granted. Now more than ever, we need an industrial aerospace strategy to ensure Canada is positioned to compete with other leading aerospace nations and capitalize on the economic opportunity in front of us, leading to greater investments, innovation, and capability at a time when our country needs it most, said Mike Mueller, President and CEO of AIAC. The report's key findings include Canada's aerospace manufacturing revenues, jobs, and GDP increased between 2022 and 2023, with the sector nearing pre-pandemic levels as it continues to recover from the challenges of the COOF. The Canadian aerospace industry contributed close to $29 billion in GDP and 218,000 jobs in the Canadian economy. Between 2022 and 2023, aerospace industry's contribution to the Canadian economy increased by $1.7 billion. And 5,400 jobs. Canada maintained its rank in the top 5 in civil flight simulators, civil engines, and civil aircraft subsegments, underscoring the Canadian aerospace industry's product range diversification in 2023. The Canadian aerospace industry ranks number 1 in R&D among all Canadian manufacturing industries in 2023, with R&D expenditures returning to pre-pandemic. Yeah, they're just repeating a bunch of stuff I just went over. I just read all that. If they use imperial measurements instead of metric, they might be number 1 in aerospace. Maybe. Also, slide rulers. Waifus love slide rulers. Yeah, they do. That's why we need more waifus. Let the research continue, Jake D. Waifu research. Here's an interesting one. Ford to begin F-Series truck production at Oakville plant in 2026. What's better than a slide ruler, DJ? Circular slide ruler. I always liked the twisty slide. It was always fun. So, citing delays in EV production, Ford shifts focus to Super Duty truck output at its Oakville, Ontario facility, aiming to increase capacity amidst the $3 billion investment. So, delays in EV production. Now, do they want to produce them? Or are they just seeing that not everyone is buying them up like they thought they would? Ford Motor Company says it's planned to assemble its F-Series Super Duty pickup trucks at its Oakville, Ontario assembly plant beginning in 2026, a move that comes amid delays to the start of planned electric vehicle production at the site. The U.S. automaker said the move would add capacity of up to 100,000 additional units and support 1,800 jobs at the plant to be filled by workers represented by Unifor. The company announced plans last year to spend $1.8 billion to transform the facility into a hub for electric vehicle manufacturing, including vehicle and battery pack assembly. But after planning to start EV production at the plant in 2025, the company said in April it was pushing that back to 2027 to give the consumer market more time to develop and allow for further development of EV battery technology. They can see that not everyone is jumping up and down to grab an EV. So they're like, yep, we're just going to push this back a bit and delay because not everyone is chomping at the bit to go out and buy themselves an EV. Ford said some employees would remain on site during the plant transformation, but there would be layoffs, noting it would work with Unifor to mitigate the effect of the delay on its workforce. Bringing production of Super Duty pickups to the Canadian plant means some employees will return to work a year earlier than expected, the company said Thursday. Super Duty is a vital tool for businesses and people around the world, and even with our Kentucky truck plant and Ohio assembly plant running flat out, we can't meet the demand, said Ford President and CEO Jim Farley. So people want big trucks, the Super Duties, and those other plants, according to this, can't keep up. So yes, have another plant making big Super Duty trucks, never mind the EVs, and just do it that way. At the same time, we're looking forward to introducing 3-row electric utility vehicles, leveraging our experience in 3-row utility vehicles and our learnings as America's number 2 electric vehicle brand to deliver fantastic, profitable vehicles. Oh, they're number 2? Who's number 1 then? Who's the number 1 electric? Would that be Tesla? Probably Tesla. The 1,800 positions are 400 more than would initially have been needed to produce the 3-row electric vehicle following the plant's overhaul, the company said. This is the best plan for Ford and for the Oakville area and Ontario in general, said Sam Fiorani, Vice President of Global Vehicle Forecasting at Auto Forecast Solutions, in an interview. If the automaker has not reinvested in the plant, he added, the potential for closure is there, and getting Ford to come back to Oakville would be very difficult, as many of the plants that have closed have simply disappeared from the map. or moved their stuff to Mexico or China. While Canada's push towards electric vehicles is a great long-term plan, consumer demand is not there. Here you guys, it's right there in black and white. The guy says it. Consumer demand isn't there for electric vehicles. While Canada's push towards electric vehicles is a great long-term plan. Right. Ford is spending around $30 billion to expand Super Duty production to Canada, which includes $2.3 billion to install assembly and integrated stamping operations at the Oakville facility. It said the increased production also adds around 150 jobs to the company's Windsor engine complex, which manufactures more V8 engines for the Super Duty trucks. The move was welcomed by the union, which called the EV production delays too long, too disruptive, and too harmful. This new retooling plan for the Oakville plant addresses our union's concerns, said Unifor National President Lana Payne in a press release. Working with our local unions and company executives, we came to an agreement that will not only see our members back to work sooner, it protects our members' jobs well into the future. Unifor said it anticipates an electrified version of the pickup will also be produced at the Oakville plant later in the decade. Let's remember that, everybody. They said later in the decade. So, 2028, 2029? I don't know. Jake D, you don't like Ford? You keep Ford? What are you, a GM man? You like your Dodge? Toyota? Yo, Kitty Bear, been a while, eh? You're just lurking? That's fine, I appreciate it. Fiorani said demand for EVs growing, but the main problem is excess supply, combined with saturated competition among automakers and lower profits on electric cars. There's a lot of vehicles being built and offered on the market for a relatively small number of buyers, he said. We're going to see more and more people transition towards electric vehicles, and as that happens, we're going to see more vehicles being added to the lineup. Automakers have to build vehicles that are in demand by consumers, and the federal government's move to mandate EV sales may not work without sufficient charging infrastructure. That's what I've been saying. You need the infrastructure. You want everything electric? You better make sure people can charge them, conveniently. Hey, Godzillionaire, how you doing? Yeah, Ford, fix or repair daily, you betcha. I don't own a Ford. Because their car designs are so boring and ugly, they don't make anything that looks good. It really all depends on building the support and support for the customer and ultimately increasing our clean electricity generation, our transmission and charging infrastructure. He added that a more aggressive approach to building charging infrastructure is needed for faster uptake of EVs. Yes. Ontario Economic Development Minister Vic Fedeli praised the announcement, saying it's in a statement, it demonstrates the company's continued confidence in the end-to-end automobile supply chain we have built in the province and in our world-class manufacturing talent. Ford spending plans for the Oakville plant were first announced in 2020 as part of union negotiations, with workers seeking long-term production commitments and the Detroit 3 automakers eventually agreeing to invest in Canadian operations in concert with spending agreements with the Ontario and federal governments. The two governments agreed to provide $295 million each in funding to secure the Ford investment. That just sounds like the government paying private industry to stay. That's all that sounds like. Using taxpayer money to pay a private business so that they stay there. Federal guidelines targeting 20% of new vehicles sold in Canada to be zero emission by 2026, at least 60% by 2030, and 100% by 2035. Yeah, good luck with that. Gaming hardcore wrecking controllers, giving them more use in 9 weeks than most people do in 2 years, which means you need to replace them every 9 weeks. Man, you're just hard on stuff, Kitty Bear. And the very thought of makes your blood run cold, Jake D. And what were you saying? GM, it's the American way? Ford is American too. Charging EV wouldn't be a problem for you. Your social credit score is too low to allow you to drive. It's okay, we'll just use more solar panels in conjunction with raising energy prices so that people use it less. I could see that, DJ. Godzillion's house arrest for you, house arrest for DJ, house arrest for the turtle. Oh yeah. Yeah, Godzillion does have a humongous carbon footprint. You can see it as you take a stroll through Tokyo. Alright, what do we got here? ViewReal reveals plan to double facility and expand operations. I don't know what ViewReal is, but they're expanding. ViewReal, a Canadian manufacturer of microsolid printing technology, is set to double its manufacturing space, introducing a new production line to produce advanced display technologies for its customers. This move aims to increase the company's production capacity and establish a model that partners can adopt in their own operations. We are thrilled to announce our expansion into the consumer market and the growth of our team and facilities, said Dr. Reza Chaji, CEO of ViewReal, doubling our manufacturing capabilities, forging additional partnerships, and significantly expanding our executive team, all reflect our commitment to innovation and excellence, positioning us better to serve our customers and partners across multiple sectors. Yo, what's up, tits and ray guns? Yay! How you doing? No automobile on the planet is zero emissions. EVs emit smog in alarming quantities. Yeah, they do. Also, how do you get rid of the batteries at the end of life there? Are they going to recycle them, or are they just going to deep well them? Chop them up, deep well them, say, oh yeah, we got rid of them. ViewReal's microsolid printing technologies has already made a mark in the automotive sector by providing micro LED display and lighting solutions to major OEMs. The company now plans to expand its consumer market targeting applications for wearable devices, televisions, IT products, and augmented reality. According to ViewReal, the company is seeing growth through two major market opportunities. The first is partnering with established display manufacturers needing high-volume production of micro LED displays and other micro semiconductor technologies. The second is offering customizable production services for companies seeking to produce small to mid-volume applications. Okay, I'm interested in this. I want to see what this is all about. Where is it here? ViewReal. I just want to see what this is all about. Semiconductor fabrication is about to change forever. Okay, so there's a phone, there's a watch, and there's something smaller than a watch. And is that what does it? Hey, you settle down about Vermeil. That's my Brave browser background. You can set up to like 6 or 8 different pictures for your backgrounds on your browser. Stuck in Central Booking in Brooklyn. We'll post a crowdfunding page if the judge wills it. Hey, what are we talking about? Posting bail? ViewReal helps bring ideas to life with end-to-end design and fabrication services. Okay, that's fine. Okay, they can put augmented reality, put stuff on the inside of your glasses. Oh yeah, these guys look like geniuses. Oh, they have open positions here. Jake D, pay attention. Director of Automation, Director of Cartridge Processing, and IC Layout Designer, CMOS Lead. Oh, it's in Waterloo, Ontario. Never mind. Unless you want to move to Waterloo, Ontario. Let's see the products they have. So there's an ant, and there's a size of what they can do for a display. Small technology to help your business take big strides forward. I see what you did there. RGB micro LED cartridges. Do custom displays. CMOS, complementary metal oxide semiconductor. There you go, DJ. Yeah, I think it's both. Offers displays for custom and niche market applications, including high PPI, greater than 2000 for AR, high brightness, and are transparent for industrial, auto, and IoT. Yeah, tits. I thought, that's good you've seen Vermeil. I liked it. I watched the whole thing, the whole series. I thought it was good. Okay. Scalable nanotechnology for next generation applications. Oh, okay. I clicked on that. It's like, here, go down here. Stupid. Some printers use display technology before the fuser has its way with the toner. Ah, okay. Well, there you go. These guys are expanding. So there must be a market for what they're doing. And look at all their investors. Samsung, LG, TDK. I've never heard of Cycle Capital. BDC, that's the Business Development Bank of Canada. I don't know who EDC is. Vico and Vitro. And they partnershipped with some of the City of Waterloo, University of Waterloo. Okay, so, yeah. In gold, butter honkers are too huge. You prefer the small, perky protrusions of Rory Mercury from Gate. Hey, to each his own, right? That's fine. We all got our different tastes. Okay, so that's those guys. ViewReal. Okay. So they might be having a good, it might be a good investment. It might be something that is, CC's a hedge fund, you think? Oh, okay. It might be a good investment. I mean, these guys are doing display stuff and is at a micro level, so they call it micro solid printing. Anyways, that's good for them. They're doing all right. Euclid Canada secures environmental product declaration for Canadian admixture manufacturing facilities. The 100,000th Moffett truck-mounted forklift is destined for Canada. Oh, man. Let's have a look here. Hiab has announced the production of Moffett's 100,000th truck-mounted forklift. Atlas Polar, its authorized Canadian distributor, will receive a milestone unit. The 100,000th unit shipped from Dundalk, Ireland on July 17th, bound for Halifax, Nova Scotia. Atlas Polar introduced the first all-wheel drive truck-mounted forklift to Canada in 1989, a Moffett. Its 60-second single-operator dismount forever changed the way deliveries are made. Since then, Moffett's versatility, durability, productivity, performance, ease of use, and safety have made it a global success. Its patented proprietary features have made Moffett the Canadian industry standard. Today, Moffett forklifts are at work in more than 45 countries. It is the world's leading forklift brand and the top-selling brand in Canada. Really, I don't think I've ever heard of Moffett, to be honest with you guys. It's always been like Hyster or Toyota or, Caterpillar sometimes. I heard Dan Aykroyd is Fyodor in Kanukistan now. I prefer Dan Aykroyd to the numbskull we have now there, tits. I just can't stand the look of him or just the sight of the guy makes me want to punch his face, and just the sound of his voice, it just drives me up the wall. Yeah, Moffat's new to you too. Look, we can look it up. Just go like this. Who knows what this, who this character's from? Let's try it. Moffett, Moffett Forklift. Not MOSFET, not MOSFET, DJ. Moffett. I mean, I have heard of Hiab. Moffett truck-mounted forklifts. Okay, yep. Forklift, not semiconductors. Yes. What do we got here? Cranes. Skid steers. Yeah, okay. Truck-mounted forklifts. Yeah, we're kind of jumping around, DJ. Hey, Tits, did you like that? Who was, do you know which show she was from? Auga! That's usually what Jake D says, by the way. But he might be unconscious right now if he saw that picture. Yeah, Christmas came early, you betcha. And her name's Christmas. Hey! Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. There, Godzillionaire. She's from the show called 100 Girlfriends that really, 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 really love you. Moffett E4, Moffett E5, the E8, the M2. Jake D suffering from blood loss. Yeah. I mean, I've seen these before. Attached to, like, they just have that, they're attached to the back of a truck, and then the guy has his own forklift to unload himself. Jake D is suffering from blood loss. I figured he would be. Yeah, I've seen these. You bet she's a big old ho, ho, ho. Okay, well, there you go. So, that's Moffett. To accommodate an ever-increasing demand, Moffett built an expanded factory of the future, manufacturing and testing facility in Dundalk, Ireland, and expanded production facilities to the U.S. in 2021. The company delivered over 25,000 machines in the last 5 years alone. The next 100,000 Moffetts will include Atlas Polar's introduction of all-electric E-Series NX truck-mounted forklifts to Canadian customers. These models have been tested in challenging climate conditions, and their long-lasting lithium-ion battery-powered models can charge from a standard wall outlet. All electric Moffetts have garnered multiple international awards and subjected to stringent testing at the renowned Mira Crash Test Laboratory. I mean, that's fine. They say it can hold up to challenging climate conditions. Minus 40 is minus 40, and batteries hate cold. So, yeah. I'm not believing. You'll get some work out of it, but you won't get as much work as you could get out of it. It just won't last that long in the cold. You've seen Mitsubishi's mounted like that, but never heard of Moffett. Yeah, same here. I just never heard of the Moffett. But apparently they put out their 100,000th forklift. If it's lithium-ion, cold will kill it. There you go. Tits agrees with me. Batteries hate the cold. You'll get a little work out of them, but you won't get like a full 8 hours of work that you could out of in a warmer climate. Anyways, that's it for the articles, I think, for the news. Next up, I was just looking around here for some articles on the skilled trade shortage. Because, trust me, everybody, there is a skilled trade shortage. And don't forget to vote on my poll that I've got going on in the chat there. Do you know anyone in the skilled trades? If you do, click yes. If you don't know anybody in any type of trade, click no. And we'll check the results at the end of the stream. So this article here, skilled trades shortage looms in British Columbia, which is the very furthest west province on Canada. I actually used to live there, so it's nice. Canada's current patchwork of immigration pathways is poorly designed to meet the growing skilled trade shortage in British Columbia, which needs to recruit nearly 52,600 tradespeople over the next decade, states a new report. The new research from BC Building Trades shows Canada's immigration system has not only failed to address construction labor shortage, but also making the situation worse for workers and industry. Okay, let's hold on right there. Don't blame the immigration system. Blame the government for telling kids that they have to go to university and college and not go to trades. In high school, in junior high, introduce them to that as a career option. I bet you there's some that will hop right on that. And people won't have to come out of doing their post-secondary education with a giant debt load, because in the trades, you don't need to spend that much money to make it through schooling. Removable batteries would make sense, but kind of heavy. Yes, damn rights they are, DJ. Yeah, you need a crane for that stuff. Sad youth isn't interested in skilled trades considering what they pay. I know, this is what we're trying to get at, tits. Trying to get the word out there to them, like, hey, you guys don't need to end up with lots of debt coming out of school, and you can earn good money once you're a journeyman. But they just don't want to listen. The use of TFWs, temporary foreign workers, has become a permanent fixture of BC's construction industry, with 7,160 of these workers brought in between 2019 and 2023. While temporary foreign workers represent 2.1% of the workforce across Canada, they are disproportionately prevalent in BC, construction making up 4.7% of the workforce. The use of broader economic immigration class and other pathways to address the construction labor shortage has been similarly disappointing. Does gender studies count as a skilled trade? Asking for a friend. Oh yeah, Godzillionaire. Yeah. Those guys. Yeah, they think that's going to get them somewhere. It's laughable. The Federal Skilled Trades Program was designed specifically to address the construction labor shortage by giving express entry to construction workers. It has failed to achieve that goal. Why? Was it because the people in charge of it just ran off with the money? That's usually what happens. And it's Lucifer! How you doing? How's things over on the island? You guys cooling down over there? Vinay Chaudhary from Dev Immigration Services in Vancouver said, given the urgent need to recruit nearly 52,600 tradespeople in BC over the next decade, optimizing immigration pathways is crucial. The current resilience of temporary foreign worker program isn't sustainable. Instead, enhancing the federal skilled trades program could be a more permanent solution. Collaborate with vocational schools and training centers in both Canada and abroad to create pathways for graduates to enter the Canadian workforce directly. This is what I've been saying. Get to the junior high, get to the high schools, get out there, show them that there is another pathway. At an average of 48 per year, that represents only 2% of economic immigrant migrations. When it comes to permanent residency, only 7,000 tradespeople have obtained permanent residency in BC through economic class immigration streams. The rate is far below BC's labor needs and will not provide the permanent skilled trades workforce the province requires to build much needed housing and infrastructure. Yeah, also one thing to bring up, everybody, is the price of housing, the cost of housing. If you're going to live in the Lower Mainland, where Vancouver is and all those surrounding areas, the housing prices are just stupidly expensive. It's out of control. It's ridiculous, the stupid things they've allowed to happen to make those prices balloon up like that. And I blame the Chinese millionaires or whatever that come over and they buy up land and they just hang on to it. Nobody lives in it. Nope, they just buy it, hang on to it, and they buy up all the properties, and there's nothing left for anybody that needs to have a house. So it's that's the problem. Fires and gas costs are making the summer super hard. Yeah, man, I feel you. Yeah, Godzillionaire. Immigration is never the answer. But yeah, Lucifer, we've had a couple days of smoke from all the fires. And yeah, the cost of gas, it's $1.60 here. I know it's more for you guys, like way more, but it's $1.60 for me, per liter. So multiply by what, 3.78 to get it what it is in a gallon. And we're getting up to what, $5? It's just idiotic. A gender studies degree qualifies for pole dancing if you're pretty, and truck stop glory holes if you aren't. Oh. Yeah, well, you got wildfires too, Tits, in Utah and California are killing the air in Wyoming. Oh, man. Yeah, it's terrible out there right now when things are on fire. $1.94 a liter. Ugh. You poor bugger. Yeah, that's terrible. Too many contractors have been hooked on cheap temporary labor to boost their profits. Yes. Like anyone with a brain should know that. As they abuse the temporary for TFW system, Canadian workers are paid less and shut out of jobs that should be theirs. It's not right. The TFW program is hurting Canadians and migrant workers too. The entire system needs an overhaul. To address the labor shortage and the failures of the Canadian Immigration and Temporary Foreign Workers Program, the BC Building Trades is calling for action, including the following. Independent audit to investigate the mismanagement of the International Mobility Program. Significant increase in the use of Federal Skilled Trades Program. The exclusion of employers from the Temporary Foreign Workers Program who do not have the demonstrated history of participating in the apprenticeship system. And an update to the Temporary Worker Program to the federal government, including a revision of the definition and methodology for determining the prevailing wage. Oh, Kitty Bear, €2.10 per liter. Oof. That's disgusting. Oof. Yeah, I'm not too crazy about that. Natives pay $1.44 out here, and they sell it legally for $1.60. Oh, there you go. That's yeah. Yeah, well, if you know somebody, I mean, it's what you got to do sometimes if you don't want to pay the exorbitant prices. So yeah, these guys don't get it. The answer is not bringing in more immigration and temporary foreign workers. It's get the word out to the younger generation. Get it out to the junior high, the high school kids. Tell them, hey, look, you can earn good money. You can work with your hands. You're not going to have any debt when you get out of there. When you get out of the post-secondary education. It's the way to go. It's what they have to do. And until they do that, they're not gonna. Things aren't gonna get better. This is one I found, the Daily Mail. And where is it from? Oh, it's from Australia. Or no, it's a UK news article. The Daily Mail from the UK. It's the I'm a tradie boss. Here's my problem with Gen Z apprentices these days and what you just can't teach them anymore. This ought to be good. I picked this one because it sounded funny. Gas is $3.58 and diesel is $3.63, and that's wholesale. Oof. €25 to fill your tank. Sorry, 15 euros. Man, oh man, I think I pay to fill my car. Yeah, what's it, like $80 now to fill my car up? Trades pay better than anything now. I mean, Yes, Lucifer, you nailed it. Australia isn't real. Come on now, tits, don't say that. You gotta come and say g'day. Husband and wife both working a trade will be able to afford a huge house. Yep, 100% Lucifer. I agree with you. 100%. So let's get to this one here. A young construction company boss says apprentices these days feel they deserve to be rich and struggle with the fact that they will only be rewarded after years of being on the tools for 5 to 6 days a week. Corey Tompkins, 29, started his career as a building apprentice for his father's business at 16 before launching his own construction company, Brisbane-based Ideal Group, in 2018. Mr. Tompkins told Daily Mail Australia that he is concerned about the current generation of apprentices rising through the ranks, blaming social media for presenting a false view of how easy it is to succeed. It is not. Influencers peddle get-rich-quick schemes that get in the heads of these apprentices and almost creates a point of entitlement, he said. First of all, don't pay attention to influencers. They're idiots. They shouldn't influence anything that you do. Don't pay attention to them. That's for you, young generation. These influencers, they're going to sell you snake oil and make you look like an idiot. It's not even the 1% of people that have those Lambos, have those mansions, and have all those nice things that pump up across social media. Mr. Tompkins said that many apprentices aren't prepared for long, strenuous days on the tools after finishing high school. Some struggle, having to constantly do that back-to-back 5 or 6 days a week, and are usually only getting one break a day. When a promising apprentice joins his business, Mr. Thompson said it was sometimes challenging to keep them focused, with many dropping out early. Mr. Tompkins pointed out that young tradies would see the rewards if they persevered through the apprenticeship. Yes, it shouldn't have to be spelled out to them, but I guess they're not smart enough to see it. Kitty Bear, you driving a moped? Who can afford a house with interest rates above 7%? You spent $170 to fill the truck. Eugh. You can only get $130K on $15. You gotta pick your route carefully then, Kitty Bear. Snake oil works great for blinker fluid. Yeah, the old blinker fluid. In 86, you worked as a circuit vet for $400 a week. It's called paying due. Yes. Exactly, tits. You got it. You can't just come out and expect to be paid, come out of high school and be paid top rate. No. I don't think so. No one's going to respect you, first of all, when you come to the job site. And if you start telling them what you think and are a know-it-all, they're just to be like, shut up, kid. And they'll ignore you. And I've seen it. You know, these kids that are like know-it-alls, nobody talks to them. You know, they just ignore them, and that's that. They don't get, they don't get along with anybody, and that's it. Pack of cigarettes cost more than filling your tank. Government has gone nuts here. Shops are no longer allowed to sell tobacco or cigarettes. Whoa, geez. Lucifer Kitty Bear lives in the Netherlands. I don't think there's any natives there. Construction is a career that you usually stay in, and if you stay in it for long enough, you can see the benefits financially. Mr. Tompkins has started hiring apprentices purely on their attitude and personality instead of skill. Skill can come later. They have to have 80% of the job is showing up. As soon as you show up and show your employer you're going to show up, they'll be like, yep, okay, we're going to keep you around. The skills come later, for sure. They can learn as they go along. He added that this was very first apprentice Jake worked at a bar at night and was still on its site every day, working hard no matter how mundane the job. So for the first 2 months, I didn't care what he did outside of work, but he was to make sure that he rocked up. I guess that's kind of what some of their slang. And to his defense, he showed up every day. We've got one guy, he's been an apprentice now for a little bit. He's mature-aged apprentice, and he has a kid and shares a car with his partner. But he still shows up every day on time, works hard, works Saturdays, and I don't know how he does it, but he gets it done. But on the flip side, I've got kids that live at home. Their parents buy them a car. All they they got to worry about is getting to work and doing the job. I can teach them everything under the sun on how to do the job. All that can be taught, the thing that can't be taught is their attitude. I've employed guys that are really skilled, have all the gear, but they've got a really bad attitude. And I've said to myself, maybe I can change that. You might be able to change it for maybe 1 or 2 months, but that ends up just completely going downhill. I mean, you're trying to change someone, and people don't change unless something very drastic happens. You should open a Frisian smoke shop. You can find a German store selling tobacco in 130 kilometers. You can make bank just smuggling. Okay, there you go. So his comments come as Australia grapples with a shortage of skilled trades workers. So it's even happening in Australia, America, Canada. Shortage of tradespeople everywhere. They're needed to build 1.2 million homes promised by the Albanese government over the next 5 years. The Housing Industry Association has warned the government that 185,000 homes a year will be built in 2024 and 2025, far short of the 200,000 a year target, as building costs and high interest rates bite. Multi-millionaire entrepreneur Dick Smith said Australia needs to get youngsters out of the lecture halls and into practical work in an effort to boost the supply of skilled trades workers. Yes. Yes. Pick up a tool, for God's sake. If you want to become a doctor or an engineer, well, that university education is a necessity, but so often is wasted, especially with people who get arts degrees and never use them. Where's Jake D? Where is he? Who said gender stuff? Oh, that was Godzillionaire. This is exactly what they're saying. A tradesman can earn really good money, especially if he or she opens up their own business. My local electrician, he's a millionaire. He's done very well. And so, to me, a tradesperson who opens their own business can do incredibly well in Australia. There's a greater chance for a person who's trade qualified to open their own business and employ their own people than someone with an arts degree. Yes, how many people with arts degrees employ other people? Tell me that. But that was the one I saw, and that's out of the UK from the Daily Mail. In Germany, it is 75% cheaper. Smuggling with a car isn't profitable because of the gas price. But with a moped, it is. Oh, there you go. Moped and a backpack, I guess. If you went to Poland, you could get Russian cigarettes for next to nothing and sell them for really good money. Yeah, but then you have to go into Poland. You gotta watch out there. All right. Time for some pictures. Oh, and I got a video for you guys. It's video time. Let's see here. I just gotta find it. Okay, we'll do this. And this. Okay, and boom, there we go. Okay, guys, video time. If you can see, I might be a little bit close, but I'm holding on to the air inlet for a diaphragm pump. So just have a look here. See what happens. What the hell is this? So this is one of those things where nobody tells you or comes forward and says, I broke this. It just quietly ends up on the bench for me to find. And I'm like, okay, you've got your valve there. You can control the speed of the pump. But how the hell did you guys snap it off? And then we'll have a look in there. It's plastic. It's fantastic. Yes, Godzillionaire. And there's the inlet in the bottom, the outlet in the top. This is for oil. We use this pumps exclusively for just pumping oil. And it's got a little bracket around it and everything like that, a little holder. It should be fine. I don't know how they snapped it off, whether it fell or somebody, was smacking on it, but this piece right here, I have on order. So I just have to order the air end here. It's coming. It takes a couple weeks to get here. I think I ordered about 3 or 4 weeks ago. But I have to replace that, and you can see that there's the Allen keys, Allen wrenches. Sorry, not Allen wrenches. The Allen bolts, Allen headed cap screws in the top here. I'll just have to remove those and take that out and put the new piece in and screw in the valve to it. But yeah, that is what I came up with today. And yeah. Wasn't too. They broke it and left it. Yes, tits. They broke it and they bring it over to the. It's a great white hand from the Great White North. Yes. But yes, they just broke it and left it. It just ends up on the bench. I come along, and I'm not gonna find out who did it. Yes, there's my hand. And yeah, that's what happened. And I'm left to deal with it. So nobody says nothing, and I end up with making a call. For those of you that haven't seen before as well, I'm gonna have to throw up some pictures here of some stuff that you'll find pretty amazing, or interesting at least. I don't know if you'll find. I don't know if classify it as amazing, but okay. And we'll just open that. There we go. See this here? Rigid aluminum pipe wrench. Look at this. I know some of you have seen this before, but for those that haven't, look at that crack in it. Right at the jaw. Right where the jaw starts. Hey, Casimir Takpinar, over on Twitch. Welcome. Yeah, just looking at some damaged tools here, and how that can happen. Once again, this one was broken, left on the bench, and nobody said a word. Nobody said, oh, hey, I was doing this and I broke it. There's another shot. You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge your job. I mean, look at that. That's a major crack. And it was still going, too. You see it. There's the major part of it, and then it was still going down and down and down. I don't know what they were doing with it. What could make that happen? But actually, you've got more than one. You've got the major one there. And then there's one there as well. And it was going down the handle as well. It's just amazing. Gather everyone together and yell, who did that? The first one says, sorry, did it. Because Kanukistan. Here we go. Here's another shot of it from another angle. It is right through the wall. You can see that. And it's a rigid pipe wrench, 10-inch, aluminum. And yeah, they managed to crack it like that. I tried to get some really good shots. There we go. Look at that. What were they prying on that you could cause the wall to crack all the way through? Like they're using it wrong. I turned it on its side just to get a shot of it from here. Like the whole wall of it is like, it's almost crumbling. They did whatever they did to it. I mean, there's not much you can do after that. You're just gonna, well, do what I did, is just throw it in the garbage. There's no saving it. There's no repairing it. You throw it out, you buy a new one. I should have a few other things on here that are in need of repair. Yeah, we'll go like this, this. And go like this. Look at this. This is a coupling that goes from a motor to a pump. It's got a big crack in it. But I can also see the teeth marks from where they used a pipe wrench to spin it. Because sometimes what happens is this is on a pump that pumps molten sulfur, and if the sulfur changes temperature, it becomes harder to turn. And so to get it going, they'll pull out a wrench and crank on this part of it. And they shouldn't have done it on that part. They should have done it on the bottom part here. That would have survived a little better. But there you can see the crack a lot better. So this thing got beat on badly. And there you go. It was good thing we found it when we did, because it's starting to crack right through right here. How'd you crack a coupling? The insert would break in operation first? Not necessarily, Godzillionaire. So rubber insert. The reason this cracks is because they put the pipe wrench on it to get it to spin. If it locks up and doesn't has a hard time spinning, the guys get out the pipe wrench, and I'm guilty for this too. Get out the pipe wrench and you crank on it, and it usually turns not after a little bit of force. You don't put a lot on it. This has been excessive force. Like, the stuff must have just been solid, and they tried to turn it and just cracked it. So yeah, that coupling, once again, throw it in the garbage and buy a new one. It needed it anyway. You could see all the previous marks from all the pipe wrenching that was done on it. So it was well past its prime. This one, I know you guys have seen, some of you have seen this before. This is a pressure washer wand. And it's got a hole worn through the side of it. As you can see there it is. There's where the hole is. It's right at the bend. So that might have been something that contributed to the wearing through the whole wall. And I tried to get a good close-up shot of it. I work with cavemen. People that are not in the skilled trades. That's who I work with, tits. I work with people that are not in the skilled trades. And this is the result. Not this. I don't blame this on them. This is just fatigue and wear. Nope. But yeah, so same thing. This thing can't be rescued, can't be repaired. Throw it out, get a new one. You're dealing with high pressure, so there's nothing you can do that would repair it properly. So this is the lid for an oil tank, used oil tank. And I'm like, well, there is no easy way to close it or a good way to close it so you don't catch your fingers. So I took some pictures and I'm like, there we go. Let's add a handle to that. Just a nice grab handle. Duct tape it. Yeah, tits, okay. Yeah, that'll work. So yeah, I just marked the holes, drilled them, got some short machine screws, put those in there, and we got ourselves a nice handy handle. No more pinching your fingers when you're trying to open and close the damn lid. This is wild too. The insulators we use, you're supposed to use cotter pins to keep these. Well, it doesn't have to be cotter pins. You can use hairpins. All they did was they cut some strips of metal and put them in there. That's against the rules. You're putting something that's razor sharp. What was this tape that Billy Mays used to sell? Oh, flex tape. Just get some flex tape. Yeah, here's a better shot of it. They just cut strips of metal and put them in there instead of using a hairpin. A proper pin. So, like, they got a talking to. We called them up. We know who did it. It was the insulators that came there, and we're like, hey, see this? Unacceptable. Don't ever do this again. So, yeah. And I took pictures of every place they did that. Because that's razor sharp. You're going to go to try to pull it out there, and you're going to cut your finger. So, oh yeah, and this guy, I don't know what happened here. I don't know if somebody dropped it or if this thing got a big pulse of, yeah, tits, exactly. Accident waiting to happen. I don't know if this thing got a big pulse of pressure or something, or if somebody dropped it, but there you go. That needs a new one. And I guess this one got wrapped. It's only 150 PSI, so you go over that, if you bump it with 200 or 300, it's going to go boom and knock that little needle over. So once again, you just got to throw it out, start again, buy a new one. This was that grab handle for the safety shower. Is bent. It's supposed to be straight. You guys are too rough with it. They bent it. So I had to make this one. They made it out of tubing. That's pressure damage. You've blown out gauges before, tits? Okay. I made this one out of tubing, stainless steel, hoping it would last, but I got it installed and it lasted for a while, but then the guys bent it. So I had to make a new one. So I will next week I'll have some new pictures of the newest one that I made up. And that should be hopefully more robust and last. Because some guys are just savage. Just the way they do things. And if you're on the job site, if you have a place, make sure you have a spill kit station. If you have stuff that can be spilled, oil, whatever, have yourself a spill kit station. You have all kinds of absorbent pads. You got dams, you got pads, right? You've got your rubber gloves at the top. You've got your absorbent pillows, so they can hold a lot more. They're a little bit thicker. You've got your absorbent pads on this side. You've got ones for your drums. There's actual round circular drum pads that you put on top of drums when you're dispensing stuff from them. And you've got your dams here and pants. you've got your rubber pants to put on so that you don't get coated in oil or whatever happens to be leaking. Who wanted to see coupling insert destruction? There you go. That one just got mangled. A mangled coupling. I think it was barely hanging in there. Yeah, there you go. And this is a little bit of contractors being dumb. When you have contractors on your site, make sure you keep a watch on them. They don't think. They don't care. They put their ladders up against an SCBA, an emergency SCBA station, right? Self-contained breathing apparatus right there. They've leaned their ladders up against it. And it's like, what are you guys doing? You guys leaned up your ladders against this? That was your good idea? Especially when there's the wall beside it you could have laid it against. Nothing comes through this wooden area anymore. Or this wall here. But nope, they decided that lining it up against here, yeah, that's the good idea we're going to have. So, always keep an eye on contractors. They don't care. They don't think. As bad as day labor. Yeah, I mean, like, what's the matter with you guys? We have to tell you not to lean it up against something that's important like that? Anyway. That kind of falls in with the title of this stream there. How does this happen? And we ask ourselves that as people that work in maintenance. You know, you see something, you're like, how does that happen? And it's amazing. There's people out there that can wreck anvils, so it shouldn't be too surprising. But, you know, you see stuff every day. It's like, wow, I never thought I'd see that. And you do. I'm going to start wrapping it up. But before I do, here you go. Have a picture. Have a picture of Nami from One Piece. This is my background on my computer. Ah, yes. In all her One Piece goodness. Oh, she's wearing a two-piece, but you get what I'm saying. As far as the poll went, they're always building a better idiot. You got her, Godzillionaire. Yeah, 9 votes for my poll here. Do you know anyone? 78% said yes, and 22% said no. Thanks for voting, everybody. The best part of One Piece? You know it, tits. I am definitely a One Piece fan. Super fan. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for coming on. I'm going to wrap it up now. I had a good time. I hope you guys had fun too. Hope you learned a few things. It was great talking with everybody. You know, all you guys that stopped by. Like Alex Moore, DJ Ronnie G, Jake D, and Kitty Bear. It was good to see you too. Godzillionaire, of course, everyone's favorite kaiju. Tits and Ray Guns, as usual. It's a pleasure. And who else did I see here? Oh yes, Lucifer. It's always good to see you, Lucifer. I like to hear your stories from the island. And yeah. Anybody else that was lurking and listening, I appreciate you, you know. I always come here. I hope you guys come here too to get away from all that other stuff that everybody's reporting on, and, you know, a nice change of pace to talk about, you know, the trades and stuff like that, industrial things. Get to laugh at a few things and cry at a few things, especially when they don't go your way. Remember, you're always 15 minutes. You're always 15 minutes away from what is it now? You're always one broken bolt away from a 15-minute job turning into a 3-hour job. So don't forget it. So yeah, there's other guys out there that I watch and enjoy too, like Ronan66, DJ Ronnie G. There's Brandon the Anime Guy, Angry Canadian, Nerdpoil Lifeform. There's Woopa Troopa, who will be streaming pretty soon, I think. I saw a post about that. And there's Punk Waddle. And Pacific 414 and Blaine from Blaine's Escape Corner. All those guys. Great content creators. I like watching them. I enjoy them. I hope you do too. Please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, or follow me, whatever platform you're on. I appreciate it. And coming up on Saturday, more Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest 4. Working my way through that. Ronan stopped streaming, but I thought he was coming back, tits. I was just with him on Leon's stream not too long ago when we were doing anime openings. Huh. Thanks for the update, though. Ah, yes, and thanks, DJ, for putting Punk Waddle in there. Put yourself in there, too, will you? You guys like turtles and astronomy and tech stuff? Check out DJ Ronnie G. He's got all your stuff, usually Mondays at 8:45 Mountain Time. That's 10:45 Eastern. I don't know if he's coming back, tits. I thought he was. I thought he took a break for a little bit, but I thought he was coming back with shorts and stuff like that. Well, I hope so. But yes, sorry. On Saturday, I'm playing more Dragon Quest IV. I'm getting up there. I think I got one more chapter to do. And we'll see how far I can get. I've been grinding over the week here, trying to get my levels up. Haven't been progressing the story, but just grinding so that I'm good to go for this next level. Next chapter. And then on Sunday, Sunday Anime Chat. It's going to be the last, I think that's the last Sunday. Yeah, that's the last Sunday. Last Sunday of the month. It's going to be the last of the reincarnation animes. So come on by, check it out. See what's out there. See what's out there as far as reincarnation animes and what it's all about. Hopefully we can have a good time. And then once again, we circle right around again to Trades Talk Tuesday, where I'll have more articles about from an industrial point of view, and more pictures, and hopefully more videos, and some of the projects I've been a part of, some of the things I deal with. And hopefully you enjoy them as much as I do. With that being said, it was great having you all here, and I hope to see you on Saturday. But I'm sure I'll see you guys around in other people's chat rooms. And until then, everyone, I've been Pop, and I am signing off.